Hey guys, welcome back. It's Claire, and it's Monday morning in November 2020, and Dawn has got a recording artist in the studio recording this morning, so I thought this would be a great time to catch you guys up on the fall garden and where we're at in the transition. So come with me and let's see where we are. So I made a Facebook post this weekend about the amount of fails that we've had this year in trying to grow food for a family of 4 have been really, really significant, but also like such great learning for I think everybody in the family. Mainly, there's a time and place for everything. Timing has to be right. There's a lot of things that our timing was just enough off that it didn't go. Or, back in the beginning of the garden, I killed the tomato plants with the bleach massacre, and even though we were able to put in, new plants a week later, it just didn't work. So really, really thinking about how important timing just in life is. And the other really big lesson for me was there was a couple of weeks this summer when I was so overwhelmed with harvesting, especially the cucumbers. We got so many cucumbers. And I have a full-time job and I have 2 kids. And so to be able to make time for all of that while you're trying to process a year's worth of pickles, it felt extremely, extremely overwhelming. And the truth is, had all my tomatoes come in and all the other vegetables come in the way I was hoping they would have, I don't know that I could have done it. So I think, everything works out for a reason. And I had what I could handle. And it's just really food for thought when the timing does work and it is time to harvest. You have to be available. You have to go. And I think life is a lot like that with opportunities. When it comes your way, you need to be able to take it and you need to be able to do something with it. And you can't sit on it and hope that it's going to still be there. So that's been a really interesting lesson to think about. And then I think finally, we made a commitment to organic gardening because we wanted to come out here and be able to pick stuff right off, the tree and eat it. And with that commitment, pests were really, really a challenge. And we lost food. We lost all of our cantaloupes. We lost a good bit of our harvest because of bugs and pest control. And we certainly, learned how to use neem oil. And there's a couple of powders that you can put down. But ultimately, we did not have a great solution for bugs. And I think, like in life, there are pests. There are pesty people. There are pesty projects. And, one of the way to get rid of them is to, use brute force, use poison. We chose to not do that. We chose to find workarounds and really been educating ourselves about, better strategies and better companion plants and things like that as we go into the fall garden. So those are the 3 things that I'm really grateful for the garden teaching me this summer. And let me show you where we're at for the fall. So this was the tomato bed. It's really junky. I kind of feel like I should have cleaned it up before showing you guys, but then the reality is this is what it is. If you remember back there, that was where our pumpkins and our green beans and our corn was. It's all cleared out now, and I don't think we're going to grow anything there for the fall. I think we're going to compost it and just let it sit. That little bed right by the tree. But down here, these are my last 2 remaining jalapenos, and see, you can just see they have been munched on, but these suckers have produced, and I think that I am going to prune these back and try to overwinter them because peppers are perennials, and they just grew so well. The other ones I've already dug up and gotten rid of. I harvested this weekend, oh my gosh, the most amazing rosemary oil, and we've already used it on crostinis, which I'll post pictures of on Instagram and in my Facebook coaching group. And it's also an organic oil that you can use on hair and skin. So I'm pretty excited about being able to use that. And then here's the oregano that I cut down. I think I've got about a year's worth of oregano. Once it's dry, I'll show it to you. Right now it's sitting in my kitchen. Once it's dry, I'll just, put it into a glass jar and we'll see how long that lasts. And then this was carrots. You can see some of the tops of fronds. I pulled these up yesterday. You may have seen a picture of those. This is parsley and coriander, cilantro, and I've got some dill right here. A little bit of dill. I wish I would have grown more dill. If I had realized how prolific my cucumbers were going to be, I would have grown a lot more dill. So I need to sort of amend this soil and get this going. But let me show you this habanero, because I pulled out the peppers. Look how healthy this plant is, and look at all, if you can see, look at all these blooms. I mean, these are presumably new peppers, and this one has them too. And so when we were getting the beds out and when we were preparing stuff, I was like, let's keep it, because this thing has been really not prolific. This is probably the most blooms I've seen on it all year. I mean, look how large it is. But it was also buried by all the tomatoes. And so maybe now that the tomatoes are up and at them, it's actually going to have a chance to do something. And we really like, I mean, look at this. All these blooms, I don't know if you can see them. We really like the hot pepper. I don't know when that happened to me, because I didn't used to, but we really like it now. Everybody except for my daughter likes it. So that's what we're going to kind of leave that in and, until it dies back. And then over here, you can really see I've done great with the fall garden. One of the problems that I had this year, I believe this is cabbage, but one of my goals for this week is to get on here. I know for a fact this is kale. One of the problems that we had this year with the garden is all of my labels, all of the permanent ink on my labels have washed away. We've had some really bad storms. And now I'm not totally sure. So I know this is kale, but look, we came out and sprayed with neem oil yesterday just because it's just so munchy. Something's just getting on it. So these ones up here are doing much better than those back rows. And then those are turnips. They look amazing. And some parsnips. Swiss chard. That's going to be fantastic. And then I am pretty sure this is broccoli. Let me come around to that side, just because you can see it better. Well, look, my lantana is still blooming. I mean, it's November. I'm pretty sure this right here is broccoli. Again, I gotta get it taken care of. Maybe Brussels sprouts. I thought I put in some Brussels sprouts. You know, it all comes from seed. And then, of course, everything washed away. So I'm gonna have to look that up. I'll know by next week's video. And then these are green onions. I need to cut these back. I love a fresh green onion. And then look at my amazing zinnias. These are the candy stripe zinnias from Baker Creek. They're just absolutely amazing. So this bed, I think, is pretty full. Dawn yesterday put in the garlic. So right here, we've got the California early garlic, and then we've got the music garlic, and that's all right in here. So you can't see anything, but that should be coming up. And then on this side, let me get into a better position because of the light. We've got the lettuce, and of course, these are all lettuces that could be grown into heads of lettuce, but I don't really have the patience to do the succession planting, so I just throw it in there and then harvest it as microgreens. Some of these are getting really long, so they definitely need to be harvested like now. And then turnips, and you can see a little more turnips. I like turnips. I like roasted root vegetables. This isn't probably enough for more than 1 or 2 dinners, but still. Now I know this is broccoli for a fact, but again, you can see it's getting munched on. And then I think this is rutabaga, or this is rutabaga. Again, I didn't know that permanent marker could wash off. I had no idea permanent marker could wash off. I thought the whole point of it being permanent. So it's kind of hilarious to me that the only place I wrote a map or wrote anything down was in the garden, and now it's all gone. I don't know what any of my stuff is, so I know it's there, but that's it. I'll show you a case of beets gone wild. So this section was beets, and you can see this is a beet, and this is beets, and you can see it kind of buried in here. They're beets. But these weeds have just taken over. It's insane. And so this is an example too of You know, a garden lesson. This bed is really, really weedy. We didn't fully take care of it to begin with. I don't think we understood. You know, it's not a raised bed, it's in the ground. And we have weeded it so much, and they just come back. And of course, we're not wanting to use Roundup or anything. And since we're not willing to use the Roundup, I just think the commitment to being out here and weeding at all times is a lot greater than what we have time to do since we both work. So, you know, that's something that I think we may cover it up, try to kill some things off, and just get it ready for spring. So that's where we are. It's November. I love this wonderful weather, this beautiful garden, all the lessons it's teaching me. And I really thank you guys for watching, being part of my coaching practice, whether it's in person or on Zoom or Facebook, Instagram, or watching videos like this. Thank you so much.